There are few films that leave me speechless anymore, and 1973's Messiah of Evil has left me speechless. I don't know what to say. It's hard to be critical when all I want to do is praise this film. I want to praise the cinematography, the lighting, acting, sound design, plot. Oh, I loved it all. I was genuinely creeped out for the majority of this film. The apocalyptic world that it builds is beautiful as it decays. Dang, this movie's good. I loved it, but it probably won't be for everyone. It's not a fun popcorn flick. It's slow, moody, and it's atmospheric. Some people may be disappointed with the ending of this movie, but if you know the inspiration of the film, then you're not going to be disappointed. Messiah of Evil is a wild ride, and I'm so excited to dive into this forgotten classic with you. Welcome to the Hellbound Horror Show. Messiah of Evil is also known by a lot of different names, and some of them are absurd. There's Dead People, The Second Coming, Night of the Damned, Revenge of the Screaming Dead, and Return of the Living Dead. The Return of the Living Dead one gets me every single time. This timeline was almost very, very different. And those are just the USA titles. Talk about an identity crisis. From those titles alone, you'd guess that Night of the Living Dead was a huge influence, and you'd be right. Messiah of Evil does have zombies in it, but it's so much more than that. The second greatest influence for Messiah of Evil was H.P. Lovecraft. Now, even though the story wasn't derived from Lovecraft himself, it has its fingerprints all over it. From a small coastal town to ancient gods, to mysteries of the moon, to a narrator, and people going insane once they finally know the truth. Yeah, that's Lovecraft, all right. The story is deep and complex with so many twists and turns. There's small touches throughout that really make Messiah of Evil stand out. So even when I skim over the plot, just know I'm barely scratching the surface. The opening of the film sets the tone right away. A man is running away from something. He hides in this girl's backyard. He collapses. She approaches him. He gently kisses her hand and... They didn't play around. That was straight to the point. We're not even a minute in. Okay, Messiah of Evil, got my attention. We get some opening narration over this beautiful shot that continues setting the tone and laying down that thick atmosphere. We follow our lead, our Letty, who is traveling to a small coastal town called Point Dune to find her father. Once she gets to Point Dune and to her father's place, she's unable to find him. All she finds are his paintings and his diary. He is a famous painter, and she decides to stay in his studio in hopes of finding him. She travels throughout the town the next morning, seeing if anyone knows where her father is. Eventually, her search leads to Tom, his two girlfriends, and a homeless man. They all listen to the homeless man's rambling story. It's a riveting tale that will have you at the edge of your seat, talking about the night that the moon turned blood red, how the young started eating flesh, and how his father lost faith in religion that very night. Tom doesn't know where our Letty's father is, so she leaves. And as she leaves, the homeless man pulls her aside and tells her that she's gonna have to kill her own father. He warns against burying him. He can't go in the ground, but instead, she will have to burn him. She's creeped out and goes back to the studio to sleep. That night, she's awoken by Tom and his lovers. Turns out that they were kicked out of the hotel. That homeless man that they were talking to earlier was found dead, half-eaten. And the cops blamed it all on them. All the hotels in the area won't let the trio stay, so they decide to stay with our Letty. Weird things begin to happen. Townfolk gather on the beaches at night and light fires, but not to stay warm. Instead, they light fires as beacons. At night, some townfolk eat raw meat and hunt together like a pack of wolves. Some townfolk are slowly turning into these zombie-like creatures, and the first sign of them turning is blood dripping from their eyes. What evil lurks in the town of Point Dune? What happened a century ago? Who is the ancient one that is set to return? And why does the movie leave me speechless?
Wanna ride?
Messiah of Evil is a foreboding, atmospheric Lovecraft spectacle. You won't get any space creatures, but that's not really what Lovecraft is about. Lovecraft is about the unexplainable, the idea of ancient ones, the fact that we as humans don't matter. This isn't our world, this isn't our universe. We merely just inhabit it at the time being. Messiah of Evil captures that dread perfectly. If you want to watch the film, there are a few options. There was a Code Red Blu-ray in 2014, but it seems to be out of print. Maybe, I don't know, it just got a new slipcover, so I'm not sure. Goes for a pretty penny though. There's also a DVD that floats around, and of course, it's on YouTube. I got the Blu-ray from SGL Entertainment. Now, I've never heard of SGL Entertainment, but apparently they make region-free, made-on-demand discs. Now, I know that's not the perfect way to get the films, but it was good enough for me. There's also no special features outside of a trailer, but film looks good. The film is seriously stunning. Some of the cinematography is simply breathtaking. The visuals and set design really stand out, and it may be one of the prettiest films of its time. Messiah of Evil is a rich, beautiful film that I can't recommend enough. If you love Lovecraft, zombies, and thick atmosphere, then Messiah of Evil is the film for you. And that's all I have for tonight, so as always, thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay safe, and take care, everyone. Congratulations, you made it to the secret part of the video. Don't tell anyone this, but you've always been my favorite. If you want any more Lovecraft reviews, I have a playlist over here, and let me know in the comments what your favorite Lovecraft adaptation is. It can be loosely based on Lovecraft, it can be directly derived from his work, just let me know. Thanks.